For my 31th birthday, my mother-in-law gifted me divorce papers. From all of us, she announced at the restaurant. My husband recorded my reaction for their entertainment. I thanked her, signed them immediately, and walked out. She had no idea what I'd already done. 3 days before my birthday, I caught Margaret at our kitchen table with legal documents spread in front of her. When she saw me, she quickly gathered the papers and slipped them into a birthday envelope. "Just some family paperwork," she said, with a strange smile. I assumed it was maybe property documents or insurance papers David needed to sign. The decorated envelope looked so festive and innocent that morning. I'd come downstairs early to make coffee before my shift at Romano's restaurant. The house was quiet, and I expected to find the kitchen empty. Instead, Margaret sat hunched over official-looking papers, reading glasses perched on her nose as she examined each page carefully. Her concentration was intense, almost predatory, as she made notes in the margins with a red pen. The sound of my footsteps on the hardwood floor made her look up sharply for a split second. Her face showed something I'd never seen before, not just disapproval or disappointment, but actual satisfaction. She moved with surprising speed for a woman in her 60s, gathering the documents into a neat pile and sliding them into what appeared to be a regular birthday card envelope. "Good morning, dear," she said. Her voice artificially sweet in a way that immediately put me on edge. Margaret had never called me dear before. Usually, she avoided using my name altogether, referring to me as David's wife, or simply she. When talking to others, the sudden endearment felt wrong, like she was testing how it sounded before discarding it forever. The envelope itself was beautiful, pale pink, with silver lettering that spelled happy birthday in elegant script. Little butterflies danced around the edges, and the whole thing looked expensive and thoughtful. Margaret held it carefully, running her fingers along the edges as if she was admiring her own selection. "I picked this one specifically for you," she said, watching my reaction closely before we dive deeper into this incredible story of turning betrayal into triumph. "Please hit subscribe if you believe that honest work deserves respect, not shame. Your support helps us share more stories of women who refuse to stay down." Now let's see how Margaret's cruelty backfired completely. I poured my coffee and tried to make casual conversation, asking if she needed help with whatever paperwork she was handling. Margaret's laugh was light and airy, completely different from her usual measured responses. "Oh, this is something special I've been working on for quite some time. David doesn't even know about it yet." The secrecy intrigued me. In 2 years of marriage, Margaret had never planned surprises or shown interest in gift-giving beyond obligatory holidays. She was practical and direct, not the type to spend time on elaborate presentations or sentimental gestures. The fact that she was putting effort into my birthday felt like progress in our difficult relationship. "It's something that will change everything," she continued, placing the envelope carefully in her purse. "I've been consulting with professionals to make sure everything is handled properly. You deserve something meaningful." After all this time, her words filled me with unexpected hope. Maybe Margaret had finally recognized my efforts to fit into their family. Perhaps she'd noticed how hard I'd been trying to find more respectable employment, or maybe she'd seen how much I loved David. Despite their constant criticism, the idea that she might be planning something special for my 31st birthday made me feel lighter than I had in months. David appeared in the kitchen. Moments later, already dressed for work, he kissed my cheek and grabbed his travel mug, but I noticed him exchange a meaningful look with his mother. They shared some kind of silent communication that excluded me entirely. When I asked if everything was all right, David just smiled and said they were planning something special for my birthday. The rest of that week, Margaret's behavior became increasingly strange and pleasant. She called me twice to ask about my schedule, making sure I'd be available for dinner on my birthday. She even suggested we celebrate at Romano's restaurant, which shocked me completely. Margaret had never shown interest in visiting my workplace. Always making excuses. When David suggested we eat there as a family, "I think it would be meaningful to celebrate where you work," she explained during one phone call. "It's important that we acknowledge all aspects of your life." The words sounded caring, but something in her tone made me uncomfortable. Margaret didn't speak in sentimental language or express interest in acknowledging my life. Her sudden change felt calculated rather than genuine. Emma, David's sister, started acting differently too. She'd smile mysteriously when Margaret mentioned my birthday. And she volunteered to help with arrangements without being asked. Emma usually avoided family events that involved me claiming work or social conflicts. Her enthusiasm about my birthday dinner felt suspicious, but I pushed down my doubts and chose to focus on their apparent acceptance. David's excitement about the birthday celebration grew throughout the week. He'd check his phone, constantly responding to texts with satisfied grins. When I tried to peek at his messages, he'd angle the screen away from me, playfully saying it was surprise business that I wasn't allowed to see. His secretive behavior felt loving rather than threatening. The night before my birthday, Margaret called to confirm the dinner arrangements one final time. "We're something nice," she advised, "but nothing too formal. You'll want to be comfortable for what we have planned." Her tone carried an edge of anticipation that I mistook for excitement about finally celebrating me properly. I spent extra time choosing my outfit, settling on a navy dress that looked professional but approachable. The mirror reflected someone who was trying hard to be worthy of acceptance, smoothing every wrinkle and checking every detail. I wanted to look perfect for what I hoped would be our breakthrough moment as a family that evening. As I prepared for bed, David seemed unusually affectionate. He held me close and told me how much he loved me, speaking with an intensity that felt almost like goodbye. Tomorrow will be a day you'll never forget. He whispered into my hair. I fell asleep, feeling cherished and hopeful, completely unaware that his tenderness was actually guilt over what was coming. The decorated envelope sat in Margaret's purse waiting to deliver its devastating contents while I dreamed about finally earning their respect. She was probably rehearsing her speech about family standards and difficult decisions.